The scene backstage at WWE Raw was charged with tension and anticipation, an atmosphere heavy with a kind of energy that only WWE can generate when storylines collide in unexpected ways. Every corner of the arena seemed to vibrate with anticipation, the audience unaware but sensing that something monumental was brewing behind the curtains. The production crew hustled through the maze of hallways, cameras rolled in stealth, and the usually calm corridors were anything but ordinary tonight. The reason was simple. Paul Heyman, one of the most cunning and strategic minds in WWE history, had taken it upon himself to confront Adam Pearce, a man who embodies authority but has often found himself caught in the crossfire of decisions that could make or break careers. This was not a casual meeting or a simple discussion about scheduling matches or reviewing contracts. This was the kind of confrontation where careers, reputations, and legacies hung in the balance, a clash where words could carry as much weight as any slam or submission in the ring. The tension was palpable the moment Heyman emerged from the shadows, his presence commanding immediate attention. Known as the Advocate of Champions, a master manipulator, and someone whose mind works several steps ahead of anyone else in the locker room, Heyman's approach was deliberate, calculated, and designed to assert dominance without ever physically touching anyone. Every step he took, every flicker of emotion across his face, told the story of a man who was about to make a very clear statement. He would not stand idly by while decisions were made that could undermine the careers of those under his guidance or challenge the integrity of his judgment. Adam Pearce, the WWE official tasked with maintaining order and enforcing rules, had his own reputation to uphold. He was known for his commitment to authority, for making hard decisions, and for attempting to keep the chaos of WWE organized in a world where chaos is often the default state. Pearce had been involved in multiple backstage controversies before, navigating heated confrontations, resolving disputes, and making high-stakes calls that could shift the balance of power in WWE overnight. But standing across from Paul Heyman was an entirely different challenge. This was not a dispute over minor scheduling or standard match regulations. This confrontation involved Bronson Breakker and Bronson Reed, two competitors whose rising trajectories had recently captured the attention of the WWE Universe. Breakker, a powerhouse known for his explosive athleticism and impressive in-ring skills, had been making waves with every appearance, each match building his reputation as someone to be reckoned with. Reed, similarly dominant but with his own unique combination of strength and technique, had been proving time and again that he could stand toe-to-toe with any competitor, earning the respect of fans and peers alike. Both men represented the future of WWE, and any decision impacting them could reverberate throughout the entire organization, affecting storylines, fan engagement, and even the perceived credibility of the authority figures making those calls. Heyman's approach was precise and unwavering. As he entered the area where Pearce was stationed, the weight of his presence seemed to press against the walls. There was no hesitation, no uncertainty, just an unyielding focus on the matter at hand. His voice, calm yet edged with the sharpness of someone used to commanding attention, cut through the background chatter. He addressed Pearce directly, laying bare the situation with a clarity that left no room for misunderstanding. This was about Bronson Breakker and Bronson Reed, two talents whose futures were intertwined with the decisions made in that moment. Heyman's words were measured but firm, detailing what he believed was necessary to ensure fairness, protect the integrity of the performers, and maintain the standards that WWE fans expected from the company. He reminded Pearce that these were not just athletes in the ring, but representatives of an entire legacy, competitors whose actions and outcomes would influence storylines, audience engagement, and the overall perception of the WWE brand. Every syllable was calculated, every inflection designed to communicate seriousness without descending into overt hostility, though the intensity was undeniable. Adam Pearce listened, his posture rigid, his expression carefully neutral. Pearce had seen confrontations before, had faced complaints and objections, but the combination of Heyman's reputation, his articulate approach, and the importance of the subjects at hand made this different. There was a subtle exchange of power in the room, a psychological tug-of-war where neither man needed to raise his voice to assert authority. Pearce understood the implications. Decisions about Breakker and Reed were not minor administrative tasks. They were decisions that could alter career trajectories, influence fan perception, and potentially shift the balance of WWE programming for months to come. Heyman's reputation as a strategist meant that every argument he presented had been premeditated, considered from multiple angles, and crafted to appeal both to logic and to the authority structure Pearce represented. Pearce, in turn, had to weigh not just the merits of the argument, but also the optics of resistance. Any misstep could be interpreted as favoritism, incompetence, or disregard for the performers involved. The discussion intensified as Heyman elaborated on his vision for Breakker and Reed, emphasizing their potential and the risks of mismanagement. He highlighted the timing of their opportunities, the importance of public perception, and how even subtle missteps by authority could undermine their credibility and impact the broader WWE narrative. Heyman's argument was more than just advocacy. It was a strategic blueprint designed to align Pearce's decision-making with what Heyman believed to be in the best interest of the performers and the company as a whole. He used examples from recent events, citing moments where decisions had positively or negatively influenced careers, and he positioned himself not as a critic, but as a guide, someone with insight into the larger narrative arcs and the intricacies of character development. Every word was aimed at constructing a framework for action, emphasizing the consequences of ignoring the nuance and foresight that Heyman brought to the table. Pearce responded with measured professionalism, acknowledging Heyman's points while asserting the responsibilities that came with his own role. The exchange was intricate, a back and forth where each point was carefully considered, countered, and evaluated. Pearce reminded Heyman of the rules, the established protocols, and the need to maintain consistency and fairness across all talent. He stressed that while advocacy for individual performers was important, maintaining organizational integrity was equally critical. The dialogue grew increasingly detailed, with references to contractual obligations, previous match outcomes, and upcoming storylines that could be influenced by decisions regarding Breakker and Reed. Both men navigated the discussion with a careful balance of assertiveness and respect, fully aware that any misstep could escalate tensions or create unintended consequences backstage. Heyman, never one to leave matters to chance, punctuated his arguments with compelling evidence, examples of audience reactions, and statistical data about the performer's popularity and impact on viewership.